What are the implications of you not being the best version of yourself in your life? I want you to think about that for a second. What are the consequences of you not being the best version? What are the consequences of you having issues, of having insecurities that constantly get you into trouble with your partner, of not being confident in your financial life, of not feeling good about your body and your physical condition? To me, the consequences are enormous as men. And if you're like me, this is something you want to address, and you want to address as quickly as possible. So, I'm Dr. Leif Smith, and I have just three quick ideas today. I could go on and on, but I just have 3 ideas for you that can help you if you're a man looking to better himself. And so I want to talk about 3 ways to be a better man. Here's my first thought. Number 1, we need to be in better physical condition. So, when was the last time you had a physical? When was the last time you looked at the blood work? When was the last time you went to the doctor? When was the last time you took off your shirt and looked in the mirror at yourself and turned around sideways? Right? We need to be in better physical shape. We're living in a world where we're not as taxed physically as we used to be in the past. So we're not doing the physical activities that we used to do. We sit at computers like I'm doing here, filming this video for you. We sit at computers and we sit in our desks all day long, doing nothing physically taxing. Our bodies are not built that way. Cavemen are not built that way, and we are just evolved cavemen. So we need to be in better physical shape. So I'm going to implore you, first of all, go get a physical. If you have a doctor, go get a physical. Get your weight, get your height, figure all that stuff out. Look at the circumference of your waist. Get the blood work done. See what your lipid levels are. See what's going on in your blood. See what everything is going on inside of you. See what that is about. Very important. Do that. Okay? When was the last time you went to the gym? This is the starting point. But when is the last time you went to the gym? When is the last time you physically exercised? How are you eating? I bet you're not eating how you should be eating. I know, even with my strict diet, and I do fasting, and I try to eat well, I have days where I'm just not on the ball, and I'm not eating the foods that I want to be eating. I'm eating foods that are high in sugar, high in carbohydrates, things that make me crave more and more of them. So we can all work on being in better physical condition. We also need to be in better physical condition because we need to be strong and confident men. We need to be able to physically do things that protect our family. We need to be able to protect ourselves. We need to be able to go outside and do stuff with our kids. We need to be able to run and chase them. We need to be able to chase our wives, chase our girlfriends. Okay? We need to be in good physical shape. So if you're not in the physical shape that you want to be in, and I'm imploring you here, this is so important for your health and for your confidence. Set up an appointment, schedule a physical. Let's look at the facts and see where you're at. Check all your clothes. Are the waistbands bigger on those clothes than they were years ago? If so, you've let yourself go and you need to fix it. Let's do this together. Work on your physical condition. Okay, the second step here is, now that we've worked on our physical condition, I want us to work on our insecurities. This is hard. This is a lot of hard emotional work that we've got to do. We've got to work on those little things that trigger us, right? We have anger. We have unresolved trauma from our past. We were abused and never dealt with it. We failed as a child and never dealt with it. We were abandoned by our dads or our moms or someone important to us, and we never did the work necessary to get past it. Well, this is the problem because it shows up later in your relationships. So it shows up with your girlfriend or your partner when they tell you that you're defensive all the time. And you say, no, I'm not defensive. Deep down, you know you are. You're defensive because it's hitting on some kind of insecurity that you have not resolved. And that, gentlemen, is our responsibility. We need to work on our insecurities. We need to get to the point where we cannot be triggered by our wives or our girlfriends or our partners. We need to work on that. And the only way we can get there is if we do the emotional work necessary so that we are not feeling threatened when someone gives us feedback we don't like, or when they tell us we need to work on something, or we need to fix something. We need to work on our insecurities. How do you do that? There's so many ways to do that. I have hundreds of videos here that you can click on to help you with that. There are books on how to be a better man and work on your emotional stuff. There's books on trauma. There's book on emotional work. Okay? Hang out with men. Hang out with good, strong men. That's going to make you better at dealing with your insecurities. Talk, communicate, whatever you got to do. Watch movies that inspire you. Model yourself after men that have worked on their stuff and that you feel good in their presence. And then try to be like them. So the second step, if you really want to be a better man, is you've got to work to get past your insecurities so that you're not constantly in a state of defensiveness and always trying to fight back and your head's on a swivel and you're just an insecure man. Let's work on that stuff together. Third thing that we can do to be a better man is figure out what we're about. We need to know what our terms in life are. What are your terms and what does that mean? It means, what are you about? What do you take a stand for? What hills in life are you willing to die on? Is it financial? Is it about protecting your family? Is it about protecting your spouse or your partner? What are your terms? Are you a man that takes care of your family financially? Is that your term? Are you a man who doesn't put up with abuse? Is that your term? Are you a man who constantly seeks to improve himself in every way possible? Is that your term? Usually we have a handful of these strongly held beliefs. That's what I mean by terms. Strongly held beliefs. And they're not negotiable. Usually we have a handful of these and they run our lives, right? So for instance, one of my terms is, I take care of my family financially. So when it comes to things financial, with my family, with my wife, with my kids, with myself, I take that very seriously and I'm constantly making sure that I'm doing the right thing by my family financially. The only arguments I'm ever going to get into with anyone in my life is if they try to get in the way of that. That should be an example for you on how you can come up with terms for yourself. You need to know what you're about. You need to know what hills you want to go, climb up, and fight on. It's very important. If you don't have any terms, you're going to get walked all over by the world. And sometimes we have no idea what our terms are. So we fight on every hill. And you guys know that's exhausting. So we don't want to fight on every hill. And we don't really want to fight. But if we are going to stand up to the world and stand up to people and have something that is bigger than us that we're about, we need to know what it is. We need to define that ahead of time. So I want you to work on this. What are the things that are most important to you that you really want to make your life about? Those are going to be your terms for living, your terms for interacting with everyone else in the world. You need to sit down and start writing these things out. What is most important to me? What do I want to work on? Where do I see my life years from now? And how am I going to get there? That's what your terms are, and that's what they're about. Strong men have terms, and they will let it be known what their terms are, either just through their behaviors and how they act on a daily basis, or verbally when you cross the line. You need to be about something, and you need to have these beliefs, these strongly held beliefs that are going to run your life in an effective way. That's what I'm talking about, and that's my third recommendation for being a better man. Maybe there's something that I missed here. If there is, let me know in the comments. If you have something that you feel can help other men on their quest to become a better version of themselves. I'm Dr. Leif Smith. Thank you for listening today to another one of my rants, and I hope you join my community if you haven't already joined. If not, just hit that subscribe button, join the community, and I will see you in my next video.